welcome once again to Real Shame, a show where the two of us talk about our list of movie blind spots or our list of shame. My name is Andy.
And I'm Adam.
And it is December. We've got our Christmas sweaters on, and we are doing holiday kind of movies, Christmassy, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. Holiday something, Christmas something, whatever. So this week we're doing a couple of movies from my list.
That's right.
And again, we do what we've been watching at the end of the show. So we are going to get into the movies straight away. So today's movie, take her away, Adam.
All right. It's a movie that came out in 1994. It stars Denis Leary, and it's called The Ref. A cat burglar is forced to take a bickering, dysfunctional family hostage on Christmas Eve in The Ref. All right, I pulled that one from IMDb.
I can't believe you're going to all this trouble for a thief. I mean, it's not like you killed anyone.
Yeah, I know, kind of silly, ain't it?
Yeah.
Although it's still early, right?
What's that smell?
Shut up! Take me to your house.
Now listen, we'll drop you off wherever you'd like and we won't say a word. Believe me, we're not heroes.
I can vouch for that. Lloyd is
Enough,
no hero.
okay? I said take me to your fucking house, all right? I gotta think.
The Ref is directed by Ted Demme, and it's written by Mary Weiss and Richard LaGravance, or Gravancy? I can't say that. It's Italian.
LaGravanese.
LaGravanese. Apparently, Mary was his sister-in-law, I believe, when she wrote that.
Mary, quite contrary.
The movie stars Denis Leary is one of his first roles, one of his early roles, I guess, as Gus. We have Kevin Spacey as Lloyd, the husband. We have Julie Davis as Caroline. We have Glennis Johns as Rose, the mother.
Not Glenn Johns, the producer.
Not Glenn Johns, the producer from Beatles. And it's the film debut of J.K. Simmons, who would go on, and he looks the same.
Pretty much does.
But maybe doesn't shave his head like he does later on. But yeah, he's awesome. And we've seen him a lot of stuff nowadays. I don't know what I'm saying. It's a movie I remember catching on cable a few times around this time of year, being on HBO or whatever. And remember having a lot of fun watching it in the late 90s, maybe early aughts. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's a movie you've never seen.
Oh, surprisingly.
And it takes place at Christmas, so it's perfect for this time of year. So what'd you know about The Ref going into it, and what'd you think about The Ref after watching it?
So this is one of those movies that when it came out, which weirdly enough, it came out in March of 1994, it did not come out around Christmas time. But, nevertheless, I remember when it came out, I did know who Denis Leary was. He had been on MTV, where he did like his little rants, where he's like puffing away on a cigarette. He had done
No Cure for Cancer.
Right, No Cure for Cancer. So I remember him. I was fully aware of who he was. And speaking of MTV, and I mentioned this to you, the guy that plays Phil in the movie is an actor named Jim Turner. And if you're old like me and you remember the late 80s MTV, Jim Turner played Randy of the Redwoods. I was thrilled whenever I saw Jim. I was like, is that Randy of the Redwoods? Because I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else. I mean, he's been in plenty of stuff, and apparently he was on the show Arliss for like a long time, but I never watched Arliss. So anyway, I was like, it's Randy. It's Randy of the Redwoods. I was super excited. I was so stoked. But so when this movie came out, Denis Leary was really kind of hot at the time. Like, he was an up-and-coming kind of comic, whatever. And again, had been on MTV, had the No Cure for Cancer stuff, whatever. And all of my friends were like, you have to see this movie. It's so hilarious. And it was super, super hyped up for me. And I was like, if I watch it, I'm going to be so disappointed. Because all of my friends were like, oh, Denis Leary is so hilarious. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And they just kept cramming it down my throat. And I was like, I don't want to watch it because I'm just going to be disappointed.
So 25 years later.
So I put it off and I just never got around to watch it. Well, for one thing, it does not have a Blu-ray release. Both of the movies that we're talking about this week, neither one has a Blu-ray release. So again, I mean, it's not like you can't find it, I'm sure probably streaming or something like that. But I just, never got around to it. I don't think I own a copy or anything on DVD or anything like that. So I just put it off. And I think I made the right decision at the time, back in the 90s, because I think I would have been disappointed. But I think watching it now, I really like this movie. I thought it was really, really funny. I mean, Denis Leary is hilarious. Like he's fun. There's some great.
He's doing his shtick.
He's doing his shtick, and I'm okay with it now. Like it's not going to be hyped up for me now. You know, like you said, 20 something years later, it's not going to be hyped up for me now. He's really funny. His lines are really funny. The bickering between Kevin Spacey and Judy Davis's character, really funny. The other family member, Christine Baranski, and the other people that are in the movie are funny. Yeah. The fact that their son is like blackmailing his military, J.K. Simmons, because he's basically at military school. He's blackmailing his commander or whatever, you know, like with some racy photos, and they talk about the guy's got diarrhea and everything. And of course, I always laugh at that. So, but
stole the baby's Jesus from the
from the manger, right? Yeah, but I think this was a really, really funny movie, and I can definitely see this becoming a Christmas staple in my house. No, I really, really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, and it's cool, as you said, seeing some of these guys like J.K. Simmons, who plays Siskel, which I don't know if that was a nod for Gene Siskel or what. Spoiler: Gene Siskel gave this movie thumbs down, so maybe he didn't like the fact that.
What was it? Another movie where they had two characters?
Yeah,
named
Godzilla.
Did he give also thumbs?
They gave it 2 thumbs down. Yeah.
So there you go, guys.
Anytime there was a Siskel or an Ebert in a movie.
Both those critics are like, nope, we don't like our name in the movie.
Yeah, and also B.D. Wong is uncredited in the movie, but he plays
like
the marriage counselor at the beginning. So it's cool
Dr.
seeing him.
Wong.
He plays Dr. Wong, right? B.D. Wong plays Dr. Wong. Not much of a stretch. But no, I enjoy this movie. I mean, I think that pretty much just sums it up. I think it's a fun movie. Yeah. I think it's funny seeing Denis Leary get pissed off at them get pissed off at each other and bicker. And again, it just has some really, really great lines. Yeah. And, and it's an hour and a half or something, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's just a really, really good, fun, cranky holiday comedy and deserves to be seen. And I'm glad that I watched it finally after all these years, and I will watch it again. For sure.
Well, I think you are exactly right. I have a lot of nostalgia around this movie. Again, played on cable a bunch. I remember catching bits and pieces of it. And for me, a lot of the fun is the kind of rants that Denis Leary goes on. I feel like that was his shtick back in the day. This is, before he had that firefighter show that he was in, all kind of stuff where he would just basically, in his stand specials and everything, just kind of go on these long rants about like what's wrong with everyone and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff. He does it a little bit in Demolition Man, which is fun. He just kind of just like adds and adds and adds on all these kind of things. So for me, a lot of the fun is just Denis Leary, like you said, I think you used the perfect word, being cranky about society and everything, and then just kind of calling it out and just going on these long rants while he's dealing with Judy Davis and Kevin Spacey, who are also bickering in front of him. Like they don't really. He has a gun and he's like holding him hostage, but yet their issues with the marriage is they're focused on more, and they're still kind of bickering, and he has to deal with these two adults that are basically like children arguing back and forth and all that kind of stuff. So I'm with you. I think I think I've cooled on it since then, but I still like it a lot, and there's still like a lot of nostalgia to it. So I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. I also had a lot of fun watching it this time around.
It's a lot of fun. One line that I remember that comes to mind is when Kevin Spacey thinks that his wife, Judy Davis, is flirting kind of with the Denis Leary character. And she's like, I'm frightened. There's called feelings. Didn't your alien leaders teach you that before they sent you here?
K-Pax.
Right. It makes you think of K-Pax. But it has really, really great little zingers like that. I think it's just a lot of fun. Yeah, and seeing Denis Leary just tell them to shut up and get mad at them. And, obviously he says a little bit harsher language than shut up. But it's just fun. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually.
I did too. I also had a lot of fun with it. I really don't have a whole lot in my notes. I mean, you covered it that, the movie came out in Christmas and spring.
Yeah.
Even though it's a Christmas movie and, that Denis Leary basically was in those MTV spots, had the Cure for Cancer, which I think Ted Demme actually directed.
Oh, okay.
The Cure for Cancer special, if I remember reading IMDb correctly. So yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Where did the critics fall? Do you have anything else you want to add?
Just one thing about the director. I read Ted Demme died of a heart attack while playing basketball, which is a heck of a way to go.
Yeah.
But I read that Glynis Johns, who plays Kevin Spacey's mother in the movie, and she was in While You Were Sleeping, which we did last December, if you recall.
She's our Christmas.
She's our Christmas
spirit animal.
Yeah. I'll go with it. And she is still alive. She just turned 98 years old
in
October. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. She has not done a movie. Her actual last movie was not While You Were Sleeping, because that came out a year after this. It was Superstar with Molly Shannon.
Okay.
I think she plays Molly Shannon's grandmother in that
I've
movie.
never seen Superstar.
I don't think I've seen it either, but that's her last movie. Came out in 1999.
Is it a Christmas movie? Maybe we should watch it.
I don't think it's a Christmas movie. No. So the critics, 72% fresh, 73% audience score, so right there close together. Siskel gave it a thumbs down. Roger Ebert, maybe because there wasn't a character named Ebert in it, gave it thumbs up. I actually did watch the review of it after I watched the movie. Siskel's beef with it was he thought it got old, like it was too one note and it wore out its welcome after a while. Roger Ebert just thought it was funny all the way through, but like we did, So, and Leonard Maltin, 2.5 stars.
Yeah, he wasn't totally on board with
Mr. Leonard. Yeah, he wasn't totally on board with it.
All right. Well, that was our review on The Ref. And on our Mondays episodes, we always like to talk about what we've spent the week watching. So I'm going to toss it over to you, Andy. What have you been watching since the last time we chatted?
So, a little bit of foreshadowing, because we're going to talk about a Nicolas Cage movie later on this week. I watched a new Nicolas Cage movie that came out. And I know you're asking which one, because he does like 12 movies a year, right? He's in like everything. Willy's Wonderland. What could it be? Who knows? No, it was Pig.
I've heard good things about it.
So have I.
Seen it,
but I don't really agree with him.
Okay.
I did not think it was all that great. I mean, I thought it's different.
It's not a simple love story about a man and his pig.
No. I mean, it's gotten a lot of praise, and I'm not sure I get the praise.
Yeah.
I think that I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it. But I was just kind of underwhelmed. And maybe because it's gotten so much praise, maybe I placed some unfair expectations on it or something like that. But I just was kind of like,
Gotcha.
Been there, done that. And then other than Pig, I watched, so I've mentioned Oz Perkins a few times on the show because I mentioned Blackcoat's Daughter. I mentioned Gretel and Hansel. I saw the other movie that he's done. I think this is the only other movie that he's directed. Well, I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House is a Netflix movie that he did. It's a mouthful of a title. I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. And I thought this one was kind of weak. My favorite movie that he's done, at least directed, is Blackcoat's Daughter, for sure. I think that was really, really good. I think I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House has a cool idea, a cool premise, but it just didn't, the execution of it was not that great. Once again, I think the movie visually, just like with Gretel and Hansel and Blackcoat's Daughter, is really great. So I do think whoever, is his director of photography, I don't know if he's kind of telling them, I want to shoot it like this, but there's a strong, assured kind of visual style to all of his movies. So they're worth watching just for that alone, because I think they're very beautiful to look at. But I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, kind of like Pig. I was fairly underwhelmed by it. I would not watch it again, but I would easily watch The Blackcoat's Daughter again very quickly. What have you been watching?
All right. Well, like you, I'm watching something or watched something that's kind of related to the movies we're reviewing this week, because we're doing theft movies that take place on or around Christmas, and there's one that we didn't put on the list that we're reviewing this week that kind of stands out, and that's 2000's Reindeer Games with Ben Affleck himself, Batfleck. I don't know why I say it like that. Have you ever seen Reindeer Games?
I did. I saw it in the theater.
All right. I have never seen Reindeer Games. This is my first time watching it.
Okay.
And I ended up watching the director's cut because that was the cut that was available to me.
Is that John Frankenheimer?
It is John Frankenheimer. Yes,
I thought so.
You know what? I've heard this being the butt of many jokes.
Yeah.
Like especially in Role Models, where the black kid that Sean William Scott's taking care of, he calls him Reindeer Games. He calls Sean William Scott Reindeer Games.
Yeah.
And Affleck and stuff like that. And I've heard different things. Even Charlize Theron has said this is like the movie she has done. The movie that she's done, she's liked the least.
Wow.
So she's not a big fan of it.
I'm sure I could look through her filmography and find ones that are worse.
I'm sure. But maybe because going into it, the bar was set really low for me and all that kind of stuff. I kind of had fun. Like, it's not great. It's not terrible. I like bad Ben Affleck movies. Like, I really like Paycheck, which I know people don't like that at all. But I like it. Like, it's directed by John Woo, right? Yeah, it's a John Woo action movie.
Yeah.
And it's Ben Affleck. And it has a cool sci-fi premise, I think. I don't know. I like bad action movies that are like around that era. So for me, Reindeer Games, I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but I ended up having a whole lot of fun kind of watching it. And
I don't remember a lot about it, but I do remember liking it. So
Yeah.
I think I'm at least I was there with you when I saw it in 2000. I would be willing to bet if I watched it again, I'd probably like it still.
Yeah.
And I think I remember liking Paycheck as well. So,
yeah, I think
agree
Paycheck's a good action movie. The action's not as good in Reindeer's Games, but hey, it's fun.
Yeah,
And you got Jerry Sinise, got Charlie Theron, you got you have some good actors.
I've like you saying, I think I've heard a lot of negativity towards Reindeer Games over the years, and even though I don't remember, it's been so long since I've seen it, I don't remember a lot about it. I remember every time I would hear something negative about it, I'd go, "What?
Yeah,
I like that. I thought it was pretty good." So,
all right.
yeah.
Well, I was taking for granted that it wasn't good, but now I'm glad I watched it because now I have my own opinion formed about the movie.
Nice,
which is always better.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
so what did we pair?
Oh yeah, it's a good
the
question.
ref with?
So, like I said, with Reindeer Games, we're doing theft movies that take place at Christmas. And in 1994, there was another movie where people stole things around Christmas, and that's called Trapped in Paradise. Another movie that played a lot on cable. And it was a movie that we were talking about, and you've seen once before. You saw it last year, which I forgot about.
I've seen it twice before.
Okay, you've seen it a couple times before. I've seen it maybe once before, but figured it would fit well with the ref. Came out the same year,
and it actually came out in December, unlike the ref.
Yeah, so that's what. So figured it'd be a good movie to compare the ref to. So stay tuned Wednesday for that review. All right, guys. Well, that was everything ref and everything what we've been watching. Please like, subscribe, share, do all the social media stuff with the show. It really does help spread the word. We really do appreciate that. We answer viewer questions sent to us that are sent to our email address, realshame@gmail.com. Real spelled like the film reel. It's like the name of the show. Shoot us an email. We need those viewer questions. Although we have some special ones for the next couple weeks. So we'll pull our own questions for those. And we're on social media at Real Shame on Instagram. And we'll see you in a few days when we figure out if we want to stay trapped in paradise or if we want to escape. And we'll see you soon, guys. Bye.